Hello everybody. Hopefully you can hear me with the equipment running in the background there. I just wanted to stop by for a minute here. Brenda and I are doing some yard work. I do want to come out and fill out the feeders and just give you a real quick update on on what's going on for those of you that haven't had a chance to see. I've started a page for Richard's Pond, and you can get that by going to snowmancam.com. And up at the top of the page, you'll see a link that says Richard's Pond. And that's where I'm going to update everybody with any new information that's coming in. That's also the page that I'm going to permanently recognize everybody that contributes to making this pond possible. And I'll have pictures there. I'll have some more background on what Richard has meant to this site, the things that he has done over the years. It's absolutely extensive. If you enjoy this website, it's because of Richard. And of course, Richard is no longer with us. But one of the last things he wanted to do is have a pond put in on this side of the house. Richard helped me put one in on the other side, but nobody's able to see that except for us. So we're going to put one over here on camera, and it's going to be much nicer than what's over there. And just to update you, and I'll put this information on the website, I heard from Richard's wife this morning, and what they did at the funeral home is they were asking in lieu of flowers for people to donate to the Snowman Cam. They had envelopes there, and Jean just told me this morning that they collected $435, and that's all going to go towards the pond. And we are just shy of $4,000 raised so far, which is just absolutely incredible. I guess in a way it doesn't surprise me. Richard was a real people person and loved by many around the world. So I'm really looking forward to this Thursday when the first company is going to come out, do a site survey, and give us a price on what it's going to cost us to put a pond in here that would be fitting of Richard's contributions for the last really the last 12 years. He's put his heart and his soul into this. And I received an email this morning. I'm sorry, I've got a ton of emails that I've got to answer back yet, and I will, but I can't even tell you. It's got to be in the hundreds of people who contacted me. I do read through them very quickly and save them because I want to take the time of properly thanking you, and that takes a little bit of time to do that. And I try to stay off the computer as much as possible. You can tell if the camera is breaking up here, that's because I'm inside working on something, either uploading or downloading or working on the site. And I used to do it every day, probably for a couple hours every day, and now I don't. I might spend 15 minutes because I don't want to mess up the viewing that you're used to seeing here. I don't want it breaking up for you. But of course, that's getting me behind. We did receive a letter from our internet service provider that the new high-speed, wide bandwidth is coming soon. That should take care of a lot of that, but in the meantime, it's making it difficult to function. But I do want to make sure that we're putting out the best possible video image that we can. So that's why I'm getting a little bit behind on some of this other stuff. But I received one this morning, and Connie, I hope you're watching, Connie Scott from down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. She told me a story, and I think Richard shared this with me, that, of course, Richard wanted this pond, and he assured me that he was going to figure out a way to pay for it. And he got with Connie, and Connie made up the refrigerator magnets, which I think you guys have seen those before. They're really cute little quality refrigerator magnets. And Brenda and I've got them on our refrigerator. They've been sent all over the world. In fact, I think Patty Mazoub right now is traveling the world somewhere, and she's taking pictures of her little snowman. Well, Connie made some up in red, white, and blue, very patriotic. And Richard's plan was to use those as a fundraiser, and I think they were shooting for 4th of July, but I think with this being Memorial Day, probably appropriate that Connie got a hold of me today. And what I've decided to do with that, Connie's made quite a few of them, is anybody who donates $50 or more towards Richard's Pond, we're going to give you one of those. We'll ship it to you, and we'll do that between now, Memorial Day, and the 4th of July. In fact, actually, I'll also be sending them to the people who have donated $50 or more towards Richard's Pond just in the last week. So you can watch for those, and I'll be getting those out in the mail. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a real treasure, because these were all magnets that Connie made, sent them to Richard, and Richard's had them in his home office waiting for this idea. So obviously it was his plan to come through that surgery, and he had all kinds of ideas on how he was going to help raise money for this pond. And it's just, like I said before, it's amazing that even in his death, Richard is continuing to help us out here and help the wildlife, and the pond is going to go a long way towards doing that. We decided to put a flagpole in and also a bench, and talked to Jean, Richard's wife, this morning, and she said actually Richard has had a bench in his garage downstate, that real quality bench, but it needed to be refinished. And she got with his neighbor, or their neighbor, and the neighbor is going to strip it and refinish it. So it'll be a real quality item. So we'll have that here for sure as Richard's very own bench. And then we're also planning on getting another bench too here that we can have engraved. So as people stop by, they'll be able to sit on the bench. They'll be able to look at the water. I'm sure there'll be waterfalls involved in it, maybe a fountain, I'm not sure. Just depends on what we're able to afford to do. So going to be a very cool thing. But again, that's all going to be updated on our website on Richard's Pond. I put 2 links on snowmancam.com to make it a little easier to find. One of them's pretty big and bold at the top of the page, and then the other one is just below the chat, right above where I recognize all the people that have donated. But on that separate page, when I get that finished, like I said, everybody that donates towards this pond will be permanently on that page, and except for the folks who have said they wish to remain anonymous. So if you do donate anonymously, just let me know that too, and I won't share that, or maybe let me know that I can share where you're from, just so people can see how these donations are coming in absolutely from around the world. And speaking of around the world, we're going to have some guests that are going to stop by that are actually here from the Netherlands. They made a purchase, I don't know, probably several months ago, and they said, just hang on to our merchandise. We're going to come and visit you at the end of May. And lo and behold, here it is, the end of May, and they are going to be here in a little over an hour. So I'm going to give them a tour, bring them out here. It's somebody that I'm sure you'll probably recognize if you're on our Facebook pages. I know he's posted in there before, and I think it'll be a real treat to see him, and I think they'll get a kick out of seeing what we're doing here. So make sure to tune back in about an hour, be about 4 o'clock our time, and hopefully I can get a little cleaned up between now and then, because it is hot. All right, I think that's all I have. I'm going to fill the feeders, and then I'll check back in with you later. Take care. Yes? Yes?